Hello. Hi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I got some new makeup in the mail today. Paid for it all myself. So I have a number of things that I want to show you. I haven't even opened them. And then a couple of things that I got over the past couple of weeks that I just wanted to kind of compare them to. So the first thing is I got a number of things from Blend Bunny, and they sent it in this cute packaging. So I got the plastic palette, which I know had mixed reviews. I got the Ellis Atlantis, the Volume 2. I already have the shimmery one and the uh, cool toned one. And then I got the Lunar Eclipse. So these things were all on like crazy sale. Um, And these are the boxes. Really pretty. This I really, really like. It's really pretty. Um, and I also got one brand that I really like. Um, so I ordered a couple more things from Alter Ego. None of this is sponsored. I pay for all this stuff myself. They really don't even know who I am. So this is the Sundown palette. This is the Daylight Dreams, and when I first pulled it out of the box, I was like, man, that looks familiar. Because I have, or I'm sorry, Sunlit Dreams, but I had the Daylight, so that's why it kind of looks similar. So take a look and kind of compare these ones. And then the Dream Gaze. So I want to take a look at them, and then a couple of things because this is a blush palette. I grabbed a couple. All right, so because this is a blush palette, I grabbed a couple of things that I have not used yet. So this is from Adept. This is the Duality. This is a Beauty Creations. I just wanted to kind of swatch. This is a Jason Wu thing I got off of Ipsy Shop, and then this is a Beauty Creations. I did swatch a couple of these with some of the prior footage, but it didn't save. So anyway, point being, let's go ahead and get started. So this is the plastic palette, and what I want to do is kind of swatch with my fingers and then use a brush as well, because really that is how you would apply the makeup. But also I know people had some struggles with this palette, it sounded like. I like that it is, less pans and so forth. And if you kind of cover up that shade and cover up this shade, you essentially have a neutral palette with the exception of this one, which to you, it's looking like dark um, brown, but it is actually, there you go, a really shimmery orange shifty shade. So lots of shift in there. So anyway, let us swatch a couple of these. So first one I'm going to do is Plastic and Gossip. So this one is Gossip, and this one is Plastic. So hopefully you can kind of see the shades here. This one, Gossip, is has more kind of the bronzy shiftiness in it. This is much more pinky. So just use my little color switch and let's pick some of this up. Oop, flaking a bit. Just put that next to it. And I think that picked up a good deal of it, like for a brush swatch. And then Plastic. Put that right there. That looks good too. We'll do I know people in reviews said that they had trouble with this faux shade. And what I think the challenge is maybe that you see it, it's like so bright and vibrant in the pan, but it doesn't really shift or shimmer that much. Like, kind of at best, it's, I wouldn't say it's a satin by any means, but it doesn't have the shimmer or like that metallic look that even like these ones, you can see the reflection, the reflect in them. And this one, not so much, right? So that might be the criticism that when you look at it, you think it's going to be really, really vibrant. Um, let's just do this one and this one. Let's see if we could pick up any other shift of this one. That one is really, really pretty. Very hard to capture. I struggle with those types of shades, to be honest. Um, with like creating looks out of them, obviously. They can be really dramatic. Ooh, that's not applying very well with a brush. That might be best applied with your finger for sure. And then this one, pretty standard. That looks remarkably similar, I would say. So pretty. I am happy with this one. Let me scooch her over. The next thing I bought was the, this is the Ellis Atlantis. This is the Volume 2 Origin palette. I'm not going to swatch these because they're all mattes. But I wanted to show you, so this is supposed to be like the quote unquote like the warm toned palette. And this is the one that I already had. And I wanted to show it to you just to kind of compare, except I substituted in a bunch of the shimmers from the shimmer palette that went with this collection. But anyway, you can kind of see this one. These are kind of the mauve tones. Definitely, this is definitely a, warmer row with the um, oranges. And then this looks really neutral. So if you think about like the that new Natasha Denona 5-pan neutral eyeshadow, I can't recall what it's called. Um, you know, not warm, not cool, right down the middle. That's what this looks like. So I'm excited to have these. I love an all matte palette, despite what I did to this one, or an all shimmer palette. Like I'm happy to have all special shades. I don't mind grabbing two palettes for a look, because clearly there's no shortage of palettes for makeup, so that's not a problem for me. But happy to have those ones. So let me scooch them out. And then I wanted to show you this. This is the Duality palette from Adept Cosmetics. And I've swatched that on my arm. So so this is the Duality 1, the matte shade, and it kind of has a gradient. It goes a little bit deeper orange. I'm not sure that you can actually pick up the deeper side. Let's try. Oh, yeah, you can. So if that's the deeper side, and then this is like the yellow. Some of this may have wiped off a little bit. And then this is the orange pearl shade. This is the Honey Never Spoils. Really everyday wearable for me, for sure. Um, do this weird swatch with my thumb. This is sometimes violet. That would be a really pretty topper. And then this is the magenta is here, and then roses are red. This one, some of it wiped off. Not that you would wear it this opaque on your cheeks, potentially. But I think what's kind of cool about this is obviously there's warm tones, there's cool tones, and then there's, these bright punchy colors. Um, yeah, so that's pretty. These ones, this is from Beauty Creations, and I think I've talked about this, kind of like interested in this brand, but I'm also just like curious about it. And I'll show you a couple of these swatches. Let me just clean off my fingers a bit. So what we have here is kind of a standard pink highlighter shade. Then a neutral, um, kind of really light, I would say. So if you can see my skin tone, like I typically can wear like ivory porcelain. Um, that's kind of my foundation range. And it built up on me to look like that. This one and this one. So let it flow right here. Very similar. Like you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And then this one looks like it's going to be shimmery, um, but it's not. It's just slightly pinker than these two. And then the last two, I'll Take You There and Magic. These are kind of bronzy shades, and I don't bronze because I am cool toned and it just looks very strange on me or dirty. Um, but this is I'll Take You There, which I could get away with. And then this is Magic, which I would not be able to wear. Very orange. Um, Even on camera, this I'll Take You There. It looks orange and even kind of that it it just probably wouldn't be something I could wear. So that is that one. A kind of mixed bag there. And this one is a similar story. So this is Beauty Creations. This is Rosie McMichael. So I swatched this on my previous attempt at recording this, and you would think that this shade is like super punchy and pigmented, and it's not. So let me just swirl some around. Um, so if you were to kind of buff that out, um, I can wear this, so kind of good for me, but as you can see there, it's just a hint of blush. And then the two powders. There and there. So nothing too special. And then when you compare it back to with like the Adept and these ones, these Beauty Creations, just kind of standard shades. So peachy apricot, little bit of pink. And then these are, kind of that standard bubble gum, but even like faded. So I'm guessing like if you just tried to, it might be very wearable for me, but somebody of like any deeper skin tone is probably not going to get a ton of use out of that one. So that's that one. All right, moving on. All right, next up is the Dream Gaze from Alter Ego. And like I said, I have not even opened these. So we're going to be surprised together. And this is what it looks like. Take that little thing off. Very pastel. So this appears matte, 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 matte. These kind of look strange. They look like they're matte, but they look like they're textured. Let me just swatch one of them. Are these satins? Or are they cream to powder? Let's read. 15 color pressed powder. It doesn't say cream to powder. Okay, interesting. All right, let's just swatch like the most interesting shade. So Mystic, this is the type of thing that always catches my eye. Really pretty. What else? Clover. Not bad. I still have yellow and pink staining from the last one. Might have to switch fingers. Let's do this Stardust and see if it's shifty at all. It is. Yeah, so it's pink shift. And then let's do a couple brush swatches. So we'll go into this Wish. I think that builds up okay. Nice lavender. That one's pretty shiny too. And then let's try this Halo shade just for fun. Oh, that one's pretty weak. Let me find a clean finger. Let's see if it does better with a finger. A little better. I don't know if that would be like something that you would choose right off the bat, but this is pretty. I actually, I found myself using this kind of light lavender and even like a light or a seafoam blue similar to this, even with a neutral look, just to pop on a little bit of color, not too much like from a day-to-day basis. So pretty. The shimmers are maybe not the spiciest. Moving on. So this is the Sunlit Dreams. Oops. And this is what this one looks like. And let me just grab this. Let's open this one too and see what it looks like comparatively. They're like, maybe they're not twins, but they might be. So this has a couple cool tone. Well, these are cool tones, these ones. This is very much cooler, more on the gray side. A little bit of that mauvey shade. That's definitely a lot warmer. But let's swatch a couple and just compare them. So this is, let's go Bonfire. And then Bonfire with a brush. Not bad at all. Kind of see it there. Um, let's do Luster. I think that these were supposed to be like I Need a Nude or Natasha Denona, like inspired by that. Um, but like I said, I like that is like remarkably similar to the finger swatch. That went on really smooth. Um, I like Alter Ego's quality, particularly for, not just for the price. I think these are remarkably similar. Like, I'm not sure you'd be able to tell the difference on your eye. What was that, bronzed? You know what? It has a little bit of that blue aqua type of shift to it. These are not bad at all. Like the brush versus the finger swatch, but I'll be honest with you, if I paid like $65 for a palette that had so little difference in variation or tone, I wouldn't be too happy. Now, let me just swatch. So this is Mist. This is the one I already had. And it looks very similar to that one. And let's see what else might be similar. Brisk, much darker. But I am happy with these colors. I'm happy to have these lighter shimmers too. This one, as you can see, leaned more pink mauve. And the deep shades, I'm happy with them. So um, that is that one, Sunlit Dreams versus Daylight. Put her back in her little house. And then this one is Sundown. And kind of open her up. I believe that this is supposed to be the like Natasha Denona My Dream type of color story. This looks beautiful. And this one as well. So let us wipe off a little bit, dry my hands. I'm going to swatch this Afterglow. It's right there. Really a sheerer base than it would appear in the palette. It looks like it would be much more pigmented with a brush. Yeah, I think you can build it up. Really pretty. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit more. Maybe turn down some of the lighting so you can see them. Let's do Prism. Ooh, that's pretty. That has kind of a brown, bronze, purple, pinky shift to it. Let's see it with the brush. Yeah, that goes on really well. I am really happy with this one. This is beautiful. And then just for fun, let's swatch some of these purples just because they can be difficult. Those look remarkably the same. You can see them. Right here and here. They look very, very same. Same. But I am happy with that. That's pretty. This is like my favorite kind of driftwoody tone. All right, that is that one. And then one that I have, I showed it during my pile of shame video, is this Coastal Alter Ego palette. I've never used it and wanted to swatch some of these. See if we have some arm space. I'll have to switch arms. Let us swatch this Sparkle shade. That is pretty. That is difficult to see here. How about this Pearl shade? That has like a translucent base. That's like champagne, shimmery. Let's do this Ripple. It looks interesting. That is like a topper shade as well. Really pretty, but I don't know if you can see. From my angle, it is very shimmery, twinkles of purple. That's tough to see. And last one, let's just do the shore. Light pink. Okay. Well, that's fun. This is obviously very light toned, but like that kind of color, this kind of color, that kind of color, deepened purple, this urgent shade. I love those shades. So I'm gonna put her away. And then last couple of things, because let me just clean off a little bit again. And then we'll kind of do the last one. So this is that Jason Wu palette. Oh shoot, I don't want to break my nails. And these are very standard, as you can tell. So those are kind of a white, champagne-y, and pink. Not very shimmery. Champagne-y, pink. This, maybe I'm being a highlighter snob, but the pink I can see a little bit of glow, but not too much. All right, well, thank you for hanging out with me a bit. I'm excited about all of my new treasures. And by the way, Alter Ego sent me this cute little note. Hope you love our palettes. Thanks for supporting our brand. Handwritten, always very sweet and nice. And as I said, happy to have these and try out some of the ones that have been just kind of waiting. So thanks for joining. Hope you have a great night. Thanks. Bye.